Watch out. Spain's capitulation to EU demands sees British expats driving costs about to skyrocket. Spain's capitulation to EU demands over the distribution of its recovery funds will see drivers' costs skyrocket soon. British expats living in Spain should be wary of Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's promises made to the EU over its costly recovery fund. The Spanish leader agreed to a number of tax increases that will see drivers suffer the most. The Spanish government is planning a fiscal reform which will increase personal income tax, wealth tax, inheritances, the price of diesel and more. Unveiled in the Recovery, Transformation and Resilience Plan, this is one of the EU's conditions for Spain to receive €79.5 billion in subsidies until 2023. Madrid is planning to revise the rates that tax the registration and use of vehicles in order to adapt them to environmental standards. In other words, this will likely entail the amendment or cancellation of existing tax benefits for vehicle registration and road taxes, although this is yet to be confirmed. Currently, vehicles with CO2 emissions that don't exceed 120 grains/km are exempt from paying vehicle registration tax, which is decided by the regions. All other vehicles pay the vehicle registration tax according to their CO2 level, which is between 4.75% and 14.75% of their tax base, price before applying taxes. Spain's road tax sees drivers having to pay an annual fee decided by their municipalities, which is usually calculated based on vehicle power and type. Although the Spanish government did not state it expressly in its report, it did write of the review of the discounts on hydrocarbons used as fuel for the progressive leveling of tax rates based on their polluting power. This suggests the end of the diesel bonus and would see its taxation closer to that of petrol, which will mean that drivers with diesel vehicles will pay more to fill up the tank, about €3.45 a month per driver. Spain has also conceded to pressure from the EU to introduce more tolls on its roads. The Spanish government had already drafted a project to present in Brussels in which it describes how it will introduce a toll system across its network of motorways and high-capacity roads to cover their huge maintenance costs. They've since hinted at the fact that the introduction of tolls, PAs, across the entire network could take place in 2024. As things stand, Spain is one of the countries in Europe where drivers pay the least for the use of its high-capacity road network, spending 76% less on tolls than the average for EU countries. The Spanish government also wants there to be a gradual increase of the tax system's maximum contribution base, which in practice will result in a greater tax burden for those with monthly earnings greater than €2,400 net per month. The contribution base is the gross monthly remuneration, including prorated bonuses, that a worker receives. Currently, the maximum contribution base is €4,070.10 gross per month. Workers who earn more than that amount are exempt from paying tax on the remainder of their income. In other words, if a person has a contribution base of €5,000 per month, they are not taxed for the extra €929.90 they have earned. This modification of the maximum contribution bases, which the Spanish government states would be carried out gradually over the next 30 years, will also cause a modification of the maximum pension so as not to alter the contributory nature of the tax system. Mr. Sanchez also made plans for the country's tax harmonization, which places a heavy emphasis on wealth, inheritance and gift taxes. These tax rates are currently decided by the Spanish state, but all of the country's 17 regions have the right to apply exemptions or conditions to make them more beneficial or detrimental to taxpayers, with the general trend being towards the former. This could soon change, however. In the area of taxation on wealth, there are significant improvements to be made, both from a technical point of view and from the perspective of implementing a coherent redistributive policy at a national level, reads the government document. There is a need to apply wealth taxation in a more coordinated way between the different regions to guarantee a minimum and coordinated level of taxation, avoiding harmful tax competition between the different autonomous communities.